what's going on, everybody? To Vision Avant, and this is another edition of Wealthy Wednesday. Listen, where we like to introduce you to speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs who are impacting the world with their words. And listen, today we have another amazing guest. Yes, yes. Come on now. But listen, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that if you are an author, and you would like to be on Wealthy Wednesday, the only thing that you have to be is a member of BPC. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But I love doing this show because it gives us an opportunity to truly highlight authors who are leveraging their books to build not just multiple streams of income, but impacting people in multiple ways. So without further ado, darlings, I'm going to go ahead and get into our guest of today. Let me introduce you to who we have on the line. Let's bring her on.
Dr. Rita Renee, an inspiring figure, founded Women at the Well Living Water Ministry. She holds multiple degrees in fields like nursing, business, and theology. As an author, speaker, and mentor, she empowers people to discover their potential. She also owns Gibson and Gibson licensed financial professionals, stressing financial and soul wellness. I love that. Now, through the R.D.S, she supports business women's growth. With her faith and personal story, Dr. Rita Renee brings hope and confidence. Guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to many Dr. Rita Renee.
Yes. Hold on. Let me fix the applause, y'all. Hold on. Yes. Come on. Oh, it's giving us short applause. We're not gonna do that. There we go. Okay, anyways. All right. Well, listen, welcome to the show, Dr. Rita. Dr. Rita or Dr. Renee? Which way would you like me to say it?
I think you should just call me Rita because we're sisters. How about that?
Okay, girl, I love that. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, sis. Okay, so Rita, it is so exciting to have you on today for Wealthy Wednesday. It's funny because you actually work in wealth, right? Specifically in finances and money and things of that nature. And so I love the fact that you're here. And, every single show, we always bring on authors who are impacting the world with their words. Now, I know we gave you the professional introduction, but if you could, tell us, like, who is Rita and how did you get to this space of being on Wealthy Wednesday?
Wow.
Ah, hold on. We're going to pretend like we just paused it. I'm going to edit that. Okay. All right. How did you get on Wealthy Wednesday?
Thank you for asking, and thank you for having me here on the show. I'm super excited to be here. And yes, becoming an author is something that I've always wanted to do. And how did I get to this space from being in finance and a nurse and all of that? I just wanted to tell my story. I knew that the things that I went through in my life, through molestation, through rape, abortion, those type of things, I wanted to free women up to not be so guilty and carry that weight of the guilt and let them know they're not alone. And so hopefully during this time that we're sharing together, I will be able to sow some neat seeds of knowledge and also seeds of inspiration to other women that are listening today.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, you definitely have inspired me, and I'm so excited because from what you've been through in life, you are using that not as a reason to give up, but as a reason to help to get other people up, right? And I always like to believe that any setback that we have in our life is that setup for the next step. Now, let me say, I had came up with something the other day, Reed. I said a setback is only a setback if you don't let it to get. I don't remember. It's something about not getting up, but let's talk about some of the setbacks, right? So you talk about going through so many different challenges in your life, and today's topic is all about mental toughness. What would you attribute your toughness of what has kept you from pushing through? Because you said you've gone through some tragic type situations. What would be the thing that has helped you to push?
Can I tell you, to be honest, it's not no big secret. For me, it's my faith. I just knew that I was placed on this earth to do something and do something important and big. Whether it was on a stage, whether it's just in a small group, I knew that I had something that God had trusted me with trouble so that I can have a testimony to share with other people, to let them know that, you know what, even though you're going through something, you don't have to be the product of what you have gone through. That is all to mold you. And because I do a group called Radiant Diamonds, as a diamond, you go through pressures, you go through these things in your life, but it's only to perfect you. And I know that the things that I've gone through have perfected me, but it also to encourage other people.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm a big believer in that. Everything that we go through in life is not just only for ourselves, but also for the next person. But we are perfectly imperfect, right? And so we go through these challenges that make us the perfect being of who God has called us to be. So, okay, so now tell me a little bit about your organizations because you got a few. So tell me about the first ones, and then where we're at now, leading up to.
Okay, sure. I'll start with Gibson Licensed Financial Professionals. For me, being in ministry, I've always grew up in ministry. And the one thing I always would see that people would come to the altar, but life still happens, right? You still have bills to pay. You still have your mortgage to pay. You still have children that need to be fed. And so we will put these band-aids and we'll get emotional, but we don't give the tools to our community to how do we manage our money. We are called to be stewards of our money, right? And so I said, you know what? No longer. I was the one. I was the one going to church with the hat matching the suit and all of those things, but was broke, right? And I said, no more. I want to make a change, not only first with me and my family, but with my community and also with women as they're building their businesses. We don't have to keep up with the Joneses. So that's where Gibson and Gibson Licensed Financial Professionals was birthed out of that. No longer living a facade, being a fake and a phony, but also building a generation of wealth and a legacy for our loved ones. And then with Radiant Diamond Society, I was in a bad business relationship. I felt myself giving all the money, giving all the time, all the talents, letting people borrow money. And I said, you know what, this got to be a better way. So with Radiant Diamonds, what we do is we strategically connect women together after we vet them, after we check out their character, right? Basically, you can't connect with anybody that I know unless I vet you. And I said, I'm never going to go through that situation again. And so that's where Radiant Diamond, we uplift women, but we also make sure we vet and connect them collaboratively so that they can be profitable, but also build genuine relationships.
I definitely know there is a need for that in the marketplace, and that's what it's all about. Well, first of all, you talked about how God will make us good stewards of our own money, and I love the fact that you mentioned that. But like you said, a lot of times we don't even have the education on how to be a good steward. We just talk about a thing, and we don't know what we're talking about, right? And now I believe that more than ever, we are in a position where we're open to listen. Because let's just be real, Rita. Like, we're not too far. I always say this: we're not too far removed from slavery. We're not too far removed from being able to have our own jobs, have our own businesses. And so sometimes the mentality, especially within our community, might be a little bit challenged because we never had money, right? So we like, I'm about to show you I got money now, which is unfortunately something that I see so
Right.
much in many communities who are just getting into that space of true wealth. And so I'm happy to hear that we're able to have these conversations. And baby, on the second part that you just talked about, right? Being able to vet women and position women. And might I even just say even that, I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this because this just came to mind. Because I was having a conversation with some people the other day, just like what I told you, how we're not too far removed, and also how we have to learn to have grace, right? But
Mm.
then somebody was like, "Well, listen, Taria. I mean, you can have grace, but it don't mean be a fool." And so, you know what I mean? So having grace for people and knowing that many of us are first time generational entrepreneurs, first time generational speakers, first time generational coaches, and so we're learning along the way. And so when you talk about, I really want to dig into this vetting a woman, right? Are you vetting her based upon her skill sets, her goals? Are you vetting her based upon what you feel to be her morals? And like if she can work her way up to getting better, because maybe she doesn't have the best business acumen, but she has big goals and big dreams. How are you working with women?
We're vetting them through their character. I don't care what kind of skill you have. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how many degrees you have. If you don't have the character, and let me just say this, I love my melanin people, but character always trump color for me. It always trumps. You have to have that basic foundation of having character. If you cannot even treat your own family members right, like, you go to church, you see the pastor, he can treat everybody in the congregation right, but he go home, but he can't treat his family right. That's a problem. Okay, so it's the same thing with business women. I want to see how you deal with your employees or the people that you're connected with. I want to know about that. Okay, I want to know about your family. I want to know about that. But then, if you have a shortcoming, and that's where the grace comes in. As an older woman, we teach the younger women. We show them. We guide them. Sometimes we feel like we have to be, because now women are coming into their own, right? We feel like we have to be rough like men. I say we have the power of femininity. We can still be women, feminine, and still be strong.
Amen. I'm having to learn that myself, child. It's been a journey of learning just, how to have that healthy balance as a
Mhm.
female boss and at the same time as being a female and wanting to be feminine. And, they call it, what's the soft era? Everybody's in their soft era right now, right? Well, listen, we're going to be right back with Dr. Rita Renee. I am Taria Vision Avant. I know you guys are enjoying this. This show is just definitely one of my favorite things to do every single week because we get to hear how people are truly changing the world with their words. Well, listen, when we come back from this commercial break, Rita she's gonna have a little gift for us. She's gonna be reading from one of her books. She is a self-published author of multiple books. And I'm a big believer. You write a book to write another book. Last time I checked, the top selling authors in the world, they have multiple books. They don't just stop at one. Hello. Okay. So she's going to be reading from one of her books, breaking it down and giving us some additional detail and value. So y'all stay tuned in while we bring on our commercials and pay some bills, and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Nicole Smith, Coast Guard vet turned balanced lifestyle coach. Ever felt pulled in a million directions, balancing demanding work with motherhood? Been there. That pressure of being everything to everyone? I felt it. That's the soul behind Navigate Your Freedom, a space I created for every high-performing woman who's ever felt the tug between her demanding role and her precious family. I'm here to help you find balance, to reclaim that fierce spirit, and to ensure you're living a life that's true to you. So here's a quick nugget of wisdom. If you ever find yourself saying, "Don't I deserve to be a priority too?" I want you to simply answer back with a loud, resounding yes. You can't pour from an empty cup. So take a minute to breathe and remember, your spirit is unbreakable and your dreams, they are valid. For more heart, more soul, and guidance to seamlessly blend career ambitions with motherhood, follow me at navigateyourfreedom.com. There you can take advantage of my Decode Your Stress quiz, as well as download the How to Become a Free Women Starter Kit. Together, we'll navigate this journey. And until then, to your freedom.
Good afternoon. My name is Bertha Winston, and I help retirees and those who are planning on retiring become debt-free by eliminating their debt by the time they retire. One of my tips toward becoming debt-free when you retire is that of setting a budget. By setting a budget, this way you will understand your income and your expenses, and you will have an opportunity to see what debts you're going to pay. If you would like more information, you can download my free book, Retired and Debt Free. There you will get my 7 practical tips on how to be retired and debt free. And the website is www.retiredanddebtfree.com. Great. Thank you. And you have a blessed day.
Are you overwhelmed with your workload? Are you struggling with managing your time? Do you lack focus as well as motivation? I'm Karen Larkin, and I help home-based business owners, coaches, speakers, authors, and entrepreneurs create peaceful and tranquil environments that will cultivate productivity and creativity, decrease stress and anxiety, all while promoting your overall well-being. Well, I have a solution just for you today. I need you to go to www.createpeaceathome.com and get your 5 essential elements. 5 essential elements that you can use in your space or your workspace today that's going to begin to help you create that peaceful and that tranquil environment, one that's going to unleash your productivity as well as your creativity. You know why? Because you deserve it.
All right, everybody. All right, everybody. We are now back from that amazing commercial break. Aren't our sponsors amazing? Listen, these are some of our sponsors for the Author All Stars Conference. Now, I just want to let you know if you do not have a ticket to the Author All Stars Conference, it's our annual event. You need to look out for it, okay? Because we're down to like a few more seats. I mean, and what I'm saying, this is not a cap city, okay? How the youngins say the cap, this ain't no cap. This is not a cap city. I just made that up. But if you want to know more information about Author All Stars and everything, even watching our replays of Wealthy Wednesdays, go to authorallstars.com. Authorallstars.com. Well, y'all, let's go ahead and bring back on our guest speaker of the day. Y'all, let's give it up for Dr. Rita Renee. Yes. Child, this applause is really, really faint, but that's okay. I ain't feeling it, but that's okay. You know what I am feeling, Rita, is I am feeling this conversation that we're having here about mental toughness. And I know that you're going to gift us with an opportunity from some information from your book. So what book do you have with you that you want to share, and what we're going to be talking about?
Yes, I'm going to talk about my first book, Stay in the Ring, Knocked Down but Not Knocked Out. I wrote this book because I wanted to share my life story of how I went through molestation and how that mental toughness was so important for me to continue to be victorious and not a victim. And so I'll be sharing about mental toughness, which is in chapter 4. And it's about know that you know. Because at the end of the day, you can go through a whole lot. People may label you from your trials, your tribulations, but you got to know that you know who you are in God. And the scripture that I used for this chapter was from Psalm 27, verse 13. It says, yes, I am confident that I will see the Lord's goodness while I am here in the land of the living. So whatever you're going through, you have so much to live for. You have so much potential, and there's nothing that's going to be able to stop you. And the definition of mental toughness is this, and I love this definition because you have to develop this psychological edge that enables you to go through and cope with any opponent's demand. That means you got one up on them. That means even though they want to give up, you continue to push on. And also, you have to be more consistent and you have to be more better. That no matter what the trial is, no matter the setback, you have to be persistent and continue to get up and move on. And so there are areas in our lives which a coach, a sparring partner, crowds, friends, pastors cannot fight for us. We have to fight our own battles. And we must make up our own mind and stay in the fight. And when the fighter is nearing the end of the fight, he or she can no longer be motivated by external forces. See, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about the crowd, the cheers, the accolades, the empowerment conferences, altar calls, laying on the hands. All of that has its limitation. If you don't believe in yourself, you need to believe in yourself. We have to make up our minds that we are going to stay in the ring because we are greater because of God, who is within us. And greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. So once that fighter's mental toughness kicks in, they no longer can hear what the crowd is saying, what the coach is saying. Now they are pulling from the inside of them, their inner strength that was gained via the training that they went through. So everything that we go through, everything that we do, all the obstacles, they are our training. That's part of our training. I had to go through what I went through as part of my training. I could not encourage other people if it wasn't for the training that I have gone through in life. And that test that we often get, everybody can't be trusted with a test. So that test that you went through, nobody could take it but you. I went through what I went through. Nobody can take it. I went through my ex-husband putting bleach in my contact solution. I had my eyes patched up for 3 days. I went through that. I went through the women calling me saying they had abortions and they did this and they've been with my husband for a year after we got married. I had to go through that. But now it made me even stronger and nobody can mute my voice. So now I put it from pen to paper to press, but now I'm on platforms telling my story, encouraging women all over the world.
Man, I love it. I love everything that you've shared. I mean, you really dropped so many nuggets just now on just understanding that. What you say? Can nobody pass your test? Or God don't give you a test not just for that's not for you. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, because what I was going to ask you was, well, what do you say to the person that's like, well, Rita, this sounds good and all, but I don't know if I can take this. I don't know if I can push through this. And you said it. You said, well, that's your test. God would not put it on us if it wasn't for us to push through it. And it's just a matter of pushing through. Let me ask you a question. When it comes to mental toughness, what does that look like physically as far as steps? I mean, good Lord, to think about even what you dealt with just within your marriage, and that doesn't even include every other thing that you've gone through. What would you give if you were to give someone like maybe 3 steps on what mental toughness looks like when you're going through those challenges, when you're going through the test? What would you share with the ladies and even the men that are right now dealing with their test and they're like, I need some instruction? What would you say?
Absolutely. Number one, it's not going to be pretty. So one of the things when you're going through your test, don't worry about what it looks like. Don't try to be cute for nobody. Look, you in survival mode. This is all about you, all about your mentality, all about your living, all about you pushing forward. That's number one. Number two, you cannot do this alone. You need to have somebody there. You have to share. You have to talk with somebody. You can't be isolated on an island. And number three, guess what? Get your mouth off mute. Don't ever be ashamed about your story and your journey. Put it to pen, put it to paper, put it to press, share it. And look, if anybody gonna tell my story, guess what? It's gonna be me, because I want to make sure you didn't miss out anything, and then I'm gonna profit off of it.
Hello, won't he do it? Look, I say you don't go through nothing without a purpose, and there is a purpose in that pain, and you should also profit from your purpose. Okay, so
Come on.
amen to that. Listen, I'm so grateful that you even sharing this publicly. Especially if you come from where I come from, which I'm pretty sure you do, we have been taught to just put it in our household, sweep it under the rug. What goes on in this house does not go outside of this house. We keep it to the family, and that is it. And today I'm loving that you are creating healthy ways of being able to properly share your story so that you can change and inspire other people in their life, because it is a way of how you want to do it. Now, what else do you want us to know about what is going on with you and how we can be able to be in touch with you?
Absolutely. Look, just connect with me on social media. If there's anything that you're doing that you need support, I love supporting and I love connecting other women. We're doing a lot of things in Radiant Diamond. Matter of fact, Miss Stevie, I got to get in touch with her because she's not too far from me. She's in Greensboro and I am in Raleigh, North Carolina. So we would love to partner with you and collaborate with you and just build one another up. Have many resources. If you need any online trainings or anything like that, we're there to help you and your tribe to be better women.
And where can we go to get more details about you? I know it's on the screen, but I just want you to say
Okay,
that.
you can go right on to drritarenee.com and I will be right there connecting with you and be happy to have a conversation with you.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, drritarenee.com. So I'm just going to have you close it out with any last imparting words for the person right now that maybe you've opened up their ear, you've opened up their eye, and they're like listening a little bit. They've maybe leaned in just a tad, and now you want to close them out with something really strong. What you got?
Can I tell you, don't be ashamed. Get your mouth off mute. Don't let your situation mute you. That's what the enemy wants. He wants you to be muted. But I say, open up your mouth, be inspired, be encouraged, and I want to let you know that I'm one of your cheerleaders cheering you on. And I wish you well. And I know that God is with you.
Amen. Yo, that was another edition of our incredible show here. Let me tell you something. If y'all don't connect with Dr. Rita Renee, I don't know what you're doing. Okay, so she is doing some amazing things. Make sure you go to drritarenee.com. Check her out. She's got her books. She got multiple books. So if you want to get any one of her books, you'll be able to get those details as well as to be able to work with her. Another edition of Wealthy Wednesday, where we are literally bringing you people who are inspiring the world with their words, inspiring the world with their words. This has been a privilege and a pleasure to present to you another one of our incredible Book Profits Club family members. If you want to know how you can be a part of our next Wealthy Wednesday, like literally we broadcast this out to all of our platforms, okay? If you want to know how to be a part of this next show, all you've got to do is go to bookprofitsclub.com so that you can register for our free masterclass. This is going to be a free training, FREE. Okay, we looking for free. We're looking for free. And this is where you're going to learn information on what it takes to actually turn your book into a profitable business. We see so many speakers and coaches who are not making money with their books, and we want to change that, which is why we created the Book Profits Club. So go to bookprofitsclub.com. Of course, you can also go to authorallstars.com to see all of our previous shows. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. To Ria Vision Avant, and guess what? I'm out. Deuces.